Hello everybody, Arcadia here, hope you guys are doing good. In today's video I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to share 5 JRPGs that I've been quite addicted to throughout the years. These are games that I've had total obsession for with a lot of playtime. Now doing this list wasn't easy and there are a lot of great and addictive JRPGs out there, but I have 5 games that stood out the most for me. Many of these games have an addictive nature, whether it is a fun and replayable gameplay or stories with multiple paths and endings. But before I continue further, I want to say that I don't mean addiction in a serious way, and that this is just a lighthearted video of me sharing 5 JRPGs that are hard to put down once I play them. If you have your own list, then please feel free to share it in the comment section. At number 5 we have The Last Remnant. Now here's a game that is quite forgotten nowadays. It was originally released for the Xbox 360 in 2008, but there is also a remastered version for the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. There used to be a PC version available on Steam, but Square took it down before the release of the remastered version, which is unfortunate. But what makes this game so addictive, you might ask? Well, one of the things that stood out for me was its unique large-scale battle system. It is a turn-based battle system where you can coordinate and give commands to groups of units. Although you don't particularly control a specific unit, you're more of a coordinator, and in each and every turn you have to assess their conditions, morale and their positioning before giving out your commands. And during my time with The Last Remnant I found that very addictive. Outside of battles there are tons of side quests, crafting and component gathering that took up a lot of my playtime. One of my favorite aspects of the game is that you can recruit a lot of unique characters to your party through side quests, and I really enjoyed seeing my party grow with new units and managing them, whether it is management of their skills, formation or weapons. But that doesn't mean that the game is perfect. There's a lot of things that you have to consider when you're playing The Last Remnant. The game does an okay job of explaining most of the stuff, but there are some things that you have to look up outside the game in order to get a better understanding. But once I had a grasp of the game, I couldn't really put the game down. It was mainly the activities outside of the main story that got me hooked, and I remember spending so many hours on the game. At number 4 we have Digimon story Cybersleuth. Now here's a game that took over my life last year around Christmas time. So much so that I even made a video about it. What makes Cybersleuth so amazing and addictive is the way they handle monster collecting. I've said this before in my previous video, but the monster collecting aspect in this game is so dynamic. Not only can you capture and raise Digimons, but you're also encouraged to explore their evolution tree through different types of evolution, whether it is through regular evolution, armor evolution or DNA fusion. And I loved customizing and preparing my team of Digimons. The story of Cybersleuth was okay, a bit slow for my taste, but I liked the fact that it tapped into a more mature / dark theme. Although there are some inconsistencies when it comes to the translations, which is unfortunate because the game is very dialogue heavy. But the main reason why I had so much fun with this game was because of its deep monster collecting features. I remember spending hours customizing my team, going through stat training and unlocking new Digimons through evolution. It is quite common to see comparisons between Pokemon and Digimon, but I would argue that the game is more like Persona or Shin Megami Tensei than Pokemon. Digimon Story Cybersleuth is definitely not a perfect game, but if you're into monster collecting RPGs, like myself, then you'll find a very addictive game. At number 3 we have Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Now here's a game that was my last year's summer obsession. I usually don't play many strategy RPGs, but I've always had an interest in Fire Emblem. 3 Houses is the latest installment of Fire Emblem, but it's quite different from the other games in the series. In this game you have an open hub, the Garrick Monk Monastery, where you can explore, teach your students and build relationships. The relationship aspect kinda reminds me of social links in Persona games, not as deep as Persona, but still intriguing enough for me to explore that aspect of the game. Since Awakening, Fire Emblem games have leaned more into the relationship simulating aspect in their games, which I don't mind, but I do think there are more than just a relationship simulator, and 3 Houses is one of them. It has a good story with multiple paths depending upon your choices, which makes it replayable from a story aspect. Not only that, but it has an addictive gameplay loop. I've spent so many hours managing my party, doing side quests, building relationships, battles, and they're all sort of intertwined with each other, which I like. Even though I don't play many strategy RPGs, I do find the battle system in Fire Emblem games fun and addictive, including 3 Houses. I don't know about you guys, but there's just something about the battle animation in the Fire Emblem games that makes it really satisfying to play. One of the new features they've added to the battle system in Three Houses is battalions that you can equip on your units, which adds a new dimension to the battle system as well as making it more grand scale. Seeing all the main characters leading their armies into battle combined with some hype Fire Emblem soundtrack in the background is so satisfying. At number 2 we have both Final Fantasy XII International Zodiac Job System and Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age. I couldn't really pick between one of those two. I've spent a lot of time with both of them and they're both very similar. I mean, Zodiac Age is an HD remaster of the International Zodiac Job System with some tweaks. Either way, Final Fantasy XII is the Final Fantasy game I've spent most hours on. It is a massive game with so many areas to explore, with monsters to hunt and items to collect. It has an interesting battle system that is quite flexible thanks to the Gambit system, where you have almost full control over the AI. Not only that, but the game has some sort of a solo MMO feel to it, which I really like, and it makes the game quite addictive. I've replayed Final Fantasy XII multiple times, in particular the International Zodiac Job System through emulation, and of course the newly released Zodiac Age. I do think these two games are superior versions of Final Fantasy XII, mainly because of the introduction of the Zodiac Job System, which allows players to pick between 12 different license boards instead of having one shared license board from the original game. It also includes a New Game Plus option, as well as a trial mode where you can fight monsters in some sort of a gauntlet to earn rare items and gil. But yeah, the game is massive. I remember going to my local library back in the day just to print out guides, which I had scattered all over the floor as I was spending hours upon hours playing Final Fantasy XII. It is a unique and addictive Final Fantasy game, and if you've not played it, then maybe you should give it a try. Zodiac Age is available for PlayStation 4, Switch and on Steam if you're interested. At number 1 we have Persona 3 Portable. Now here's a game I've spent countless hours on and it is one of my favorite games on the PlayStation Portable. The main reason why I have this version of Persona 3 over, let's say, FES is because it's on a portable system. It has an updated battle system where you can control your party member, and the fact that you can play as a female protagonist. Don't get me wrong though, they streamlined the graphical aspect of the portable version due to the limitation of the PSP, but that did not affect my enjoyment. Like many other Persona and SMT related games, it has an addictive monster collecting aspect where you can collect and fuse personas. It has a great story, a bit slow in the beginning, but it gets better. I also love planning out my days, whether it is building relationship via social links, improving personal stats, or exploring Tartarus. And all of those activities are connected in some ways, and it creates this gameplay loop that makes the game very addictive. I remember finishing my first playthrough as the male protagonist, replay the game again to finish up the social links that I missed out, and then replaying it once more but this time as the female protagonist. I've never done so many playthroughs back to back with any other Persona games, and that is why I picked Persona 3 Portable for this list. And there we go, 5 JRPGs that I found addictive. As I mentioned earlier, there are many other great and addictive JRPGs out there. These are just 5 games that stood out the most for me. If you have your own list, or if there are any other JRPGs you've had total obsession for, then please feel free to share it in the comment section. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you're interested in gaming or anime. I usually do commentary videos on RPGs and anime related stuff, but I sometimes dabble into other genres as well. More videos are coming, so thank you for watching this video, and I'll hopefully see you guys next time.